About That Much. My name is Eva and I'm so glad that you found us. Today I am going to start the week's worth of meals that we're going to be eating. So today is Monday the 5th of January and this video will go through every day of the week basically. So just bringing you in for the snippets of meals I am preparing and then anything else that I will be making. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing as we're bringing out new content all the time. Let's jump into today's vlog. Today I have to make some butternut squash soup and some bread. So we're going to take 2 squash, onion, garlic, some herbs, some olive oil and some stock. Just went and got the chicken stock, home canned chicken stock. This one was cut years back, so this needs to be used. So we are going to peel and chop the butternut squashes. Okay, that's both peeled. This one's a bit spongy. Just going to scoop everything out and use what I can. I'm going to keep the seeds and we can roast them up afterwards. Okay, that other one I've managed to salvage what I can. That's what we've got from that other one. A bit spongy, but salvaged all I can from that. And it's going to be blended. All we're going to do is chop them into chunks. The smaller the chunks, the quicker it cooks in the oven. Because I'm going to cook it in the oven with the herbs. So that is our tray of pumpkin. I'm going to cut up an onion and some garlic. My onion's starting to sprout, so whatever we can salvage from this onion will be fantastic. And I'm just going to chunk it because again it is just going to get blended down in the end with the pumpkin. So that's the onion. We're going to take a few cloves of garlic. Oh, what we've got here. I'm just going to cut the end off. Peel one. Take it back, let's do 4 because I'd already half peeled that one. There we are. They're going to go in whole as well. Here's our tray. Now we're going to drizzle some olive oil over the top. We're going to add some thyme. Parsley. Savoury. And we're going to get our salt, pepper. Nearly forgot. Now we're going to move this around to make sure everything is coated nice. That looks pretty good. And that's going to go in the oven until it's fork tender. It's when you stick a fork in and it's nice and soft. Okay, I've rinsed these off, and now they're sat drying in a tea towel before I toast them off. I want them as dry as I can get, otherwise they're like popcorn, they pop out all over the place, which they will probably still do, but it can sit like that until I am ready. Now we have to make some bread. This means grinding my own flour. In here I have a mixture of barley and wheat. This is going to be noisy. I have pulled this from the oven and just stuck it in a pot just for a minute while we actually get our bread underway. I should have really started this at the beginning, but I've had trouble with my grain mill. So, we are having fun here today. Can you tell it's a Monday? In here, 2 cups of water, a couple of tablespoons of olive oil, a couple of tablespoons of sugar, 1, 2, we're going to add 5 teaspoons of instant yeast. So I'm doing a double batch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The great thing about instant yeast, you don't have to let it foam up to start with. You can put it straight in with everything else. So, this is my freshly milled flour. I like using barley because it gives lovely flavour. So I'm going to go 1. We will be using bread flour as well. 2. It's probably about 3 there. And I have some bread flour that I get from Costco that I will put in with it as well. Let's stir this in and see where we are. Yeah. Okay. That's probably about 4 cups of flour. I go on consistency more than I do anything else. Right, this is get your hands in time. My hands are clean. I have been constant washing up. I'm going to go in with another half cup because that still feels wet. Right, dump this out. Then knead it. Okay, and if you like me, knead your dough and realise you didn't put your salt in, you are going to sprinkle it. Open your dough up the best you can. And then we're going to re-knead it. But make sure you knead it well. I am forever forgetting the salt in the bread dough. That's because I was waylaid with my grain mill. My grain mill is a Mock Mill 200, I think it is. Yes, Mock Mill 200. I absolutely love it. Check that. That's bouncing back. We're going to put that in a bowl with a little bit of olive oil. We're going to let it rise for about an hour. Okay, we have that blended. It needs some more in, and I found my immersion blender this time, so I'm going to add some more stock in. Right, taste. Needs a bit more salt and a bit more pepper. I'll buy a bit more pepper. taste again. Yep, absolutely perfect. Okay, we've got some olive oil in there. We've got our butternut squash seeds. Get them covered. What I'm going to do, if I've got enough salt and pepper, I've got enough salt. I'm going to salt and pepper them. Need to fill my container up with salt. Right. Now we're going to warm that up. I've got it on a medium heat. I'm on a 3. And once they are nice and golden brown, we pull them off the heat. Okay, for this week's £1.50 pantry challenge. If you don't know why I do the pantry challenge, I will link a video up in the iCards, I think it's up here, on a video I done a couple of years back explaining why I do what I do. But in short, it's to show that everybody can build a pantry on a very small amount of money, which is just £1.50 a week, or roughly $2 if you're in America. With this pantry challenge, we do sweet treats, drinks, convenience, food, plasters, ibuprofen, bandages, toothbrushes, paracetamol, seasonings, you name it, from A to Z. So in this week's £1.50 pantry challenge, we have Tesco's tomato, onion and herb pasta. We have 2 cans of drink. It's a grape ting and it's a tropical ting. So these are lovely, great sweet treats for my kids at the end of the year. And what I will do also, I will link another video up here on 2025's end of the £1.50 pantry challenge to show you how much that we get in a year. Okay, that is the seeds done. And you see they've turned golden. They started to pop all over the kitchen. I'm going to dry off some of that excess oil. There we are. Now my kids are going to go mad over these once they know that they're there. That we scatter them on top of a bowl of the soup. So the soup's ready. The seeds are ready. Now I'm trying to get the bread ready. The only pan I could find was this one, so it's like a Pullman pan. Okay, need to butter that. I don't think it's going to be big enough to go onto that, but the time you don't butter it be the one time that it rises to the lid. Ask me how I know. I like to try and get mine roughly the same size. So let's see. I'm going for 75 to start with. There we are. So I'm going to sit and let all these rise again for about another half an hour. trying to stagger them. We have got 8 bread rolls and 1 loaf of bread. Okay, that is the bread and rolls out. Just putting some butter on, keeps it all nice and soft. They've literally just come out of the oven. So that is our dinner for today. Is bread rolls with soup with those. So I will see you tomorrow. This is Tuesday the 6th of January's meal, and it was a freezer meal. We had chicken frozen with some onion, garlic, parsley, thyme and savoury, and that's just on some rice. Okay guys, today is Wednesday the 7th. I had to double check on the calendar then. And it's pizza night. And we're having a pizza Wednesday with an apple pie. So what I'm going to do is get the apple pie going first. In my food processor, I have got 200 grams of flour. I have 110 grams of butter. I'm going to do a tablespoon of icing sugar. Actually, I'm going to add some cinnamon in as well. I like cinnamon in this house. This is the same short crust pastry I use for my mince pies as well. So I'm going to pulse that. Okay, that is looking like crumbs. Then we're going to add in the egg. This is fresh from the chickens this morning. I'll give that a quick beat. Okay. Formed like a clump. I'm going to put that on some cling film and we'll bring that together. Tried to have everything ready today. And I'm not going to overwork this. I'm literally just going to bring it into a one piece. There we are. Quick and easy. Going to wrap that up and let that rest in my fridge until we've done the pizzas. It's the same recipe as I used Monday for the bread. Just with a little more olive oil in. That's the only difference. So to that, some olive oil. Yeah, about that olive oil. Flour. So we've got 1, 3. I'll start with 3. Salt. I'll remember it today. Okay, let's mix this up. Right, now we're going to knead this for 10 minutes, just like we did Monday. Right, while the pizza dough is sat rising and waiting in a bowl, apple pie crust should be ready. Right, I'm going to break a bit off because that's what I'm going to do, like a lattice top with that. Now I'm going to be, as you can see, rolling out on cling film because this allows me to not use as much flour, and an easy way to transport it into my greased and floured pie tin. I couldn't find my normal pie tin, but I did have these in, so using what we got. Okay, let's give that a go. Just gently ease that in. Okay, to that I'm going to get a fork and just prick the bottom, and that hopefully will stop any air bubbles by stabbing it. We have a jar of apple pie filling from 2023, so that desperately needs using up, so this is a perfect job for this. Nice sound, great smell. That's one pie base. Gonna move that. Some strips cut. Right, around the edge of this, I am just going to damp it down with some water, just so I can get my strips to stick. Okay, got a cameraman with me because my my card was full, so I'm using my phone, and we are going to lay these slices on. And we're going to go so we do that all the way along. I'll bring you back when we're finished. Okay, and I just use a fork to give a pretty edge and keep those edges nice and secure. Not fancy, but it works. Right, now before I cook it, I will egg wash it and scatter it with some cinnamon sugar, but I'm not going to do that quite yet. This is just going to go and sit to one side, and I'm going to start working on the pizzas. Okay, we've got our dough, and I'm just stretching it to shape. One. What I'm going to do is do all the pizza bases. Okay, I have 7 bases done. We do tomato paste. I even managed to get 6 bread rolls out of the dough as well. So it's done 7 pizzas and 6 bread rolls. My lot like thin crust pizzas. So thin crust is what they get. I'm going to do some oregano. Some basil. Sprinkling of onion. Some mozzarella. And cheddar. Gonna add some little bacon lardons. Some pepperami. And that's one done. I'll show you them all when I've done them all. Pizzas so far. Twins. Middle child. Daughter. Eldest. Husband's pizza. My pizza. Okay, apple pie time. Get to it in the end. As you can see, my bread rolls have rose lovely. I'm going to put them in at the same time and it will be just fine. I'm glazing this with a beaten egg. I love this pantry challenge for this because it makes you use things up and get things being rotated. Once I've put some cinnamon sugar on, so I'm just going to sprinkle on. There we are. Both going in the oven. And here are our lovely soft rolls and our apple pie. So that's it for today, and I will see you on tomorrow, on Thursday. Okay, today is Thursday the 8th and we're doing a pantry dinner tonight. I've got 2 jars of home canned pork and the rest of the barbecue sauce that I used yesterday on a pizza. Nice, I'm going to strain that off, the juice off of that. That's one. The broth I'm going to put to one side. That will be used for rice if anyone wants any rice. That will go back into the jar and into the fridge. Everyone has a choice whether it's rice or rolls, because we've got some rolls that we made yesterday. And I also have a pack of the bake at home rolls left over from Christmas. It's a pyjama day for me today because I'm struggling, which is fine. Use up what we've got. There's that in there. So I've just added the barbecue sauce in and put the slow cooker on. I've had problems with my camera, so I will see you tomorrow for tomorrow's dinner. Today's Friday the 9th of January and we are having sausage casserole. So some basically made from our pantry. Chunky vegetable pasta sauce, jar of that goes in. Little drop of water into there. Lid on. Give it a shake. Helps to clean the jar as well. Tin of chopped tomatoes. In they go. Some chopped carrots. In they go. Chopped onion. In that goes. And then in goes the sausages that I have just cooked off. They're our homemade sausages. Okay. And then we're just going to give everything a stir. There we are. And we will put mashed potato with this when this is ready. It's in the slow cooker. I'm going to turn that on, and that'll be dinner tonight. Okay guys, that's this week's meals. I'm not going to do Saturday and Sundays because Saturdays my kids are here, there and everywhere, and they tend to make their own meals on Saturday evening if they're in for anything. Sometimes we have extra guests, sometimes we don't have any kids in at all for it, so it is what it is. They're out having fun and that's the main thing. And Sunday is always a roast. So I'm going to leave it there, and I will see you on the next one, guys, for next week. So until then, bye. Take care.